So our first presenter tonight is Pademobile. It's a mobile payment platform. Could you keep it down in the back, please? It's a mobile payment platform. Our speaker is Domingo Garcia. He's the CTO of Pademobile. And Domingo has been part of the project since the beginning. He's one of the people responsible for taking the company to this point. Thank you, Domingo. Please come. And again, in the back, if you can keep the volume down, or if you need to go out into the hallway for louder stuff. Great, thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Thank you, UB. I'd like to thank the Plug and Play Tech Center for the opportunity you're giving us to present tonight. I'd like to tell you a little bit about what we've been doing in the last months, last 4 or 5 months, concerning our platform and Bitcoin. First of all, I'm going to try to keep it short and focused. I'm going to try not to bore you a lot. I'm going to tell you very quickly what we do and why we have done anything about Bitcoin, how we have done it. We're going to show you a couple of things that we'd like to share with you, and then what's our ideas, what are we going to do next. So, first of all, Pademobile, our company, is a mobile digital wallet. The idea is that allows you to keep a balance, allows you to send money, to receive money, to track the history of transactions that you did. You can think about it probably like a Google Wallet, but with a big, in my opinion, very big, very important difference. Google Wallet is designed for people who keep or who has a bank account. Most of us, probably everybody here, have at least one bank account or at least one of debit or credit card, but that doesn't happen everywhere in the world. We have many people in many countries in the world who don't have a bank account, and this is a huge issue. If you can think about all the services that you have today that only works if you have a credit card, you can think how important it is for a lot of people to be able to have access to buy basic financial services. What we're trying to do is provide some of those financial services to that kind of people. We are right now active in Spain. Here in the US, we are focused mainly in the people from Mexico that live here, and especially if we are working especially in the proper country of Mexico. As I was saying, our target market is bank, and especially unbanked people who don't have a bank account, and we provide our services through several different channels. We provide a website. We have several smartphone applications, and we provide our service through text messages. The idea is that not everybody has a smartphone, especially these people who I'm talking about don't have a bank account. It's usually people with low-level income. They can't afford a smartphone, so we're trying to make our system work with any phone that you have. Every phone is able to send and to receive text messages. So one of the most used channels, especially in Mexico, is the text message. That's it about what we do. I think it's clear enough. With Bitcoin, there's 3 reasons we wanted to work with Bitcoin. We wanted to explore the possibilities that Bitcoin provides. First of all, the most important thing is the financial inclusion. The idea is that we think that Bitcoin is going to be able to help us bring these unbanked people to the world of financial services. We're talking about basic financial services. We want people to be able to keep the balance, to send money, to receive money. We want people to be able to not having to store cash everywhere. We want people to be safer in a way because they don't have that much amount of cash. Second of all, the user experience. We think that using Bitcoin right now is rather complicated. The protocol itself, the way it works, the wallets, it's pretty complicated even for people with technical knowledge. If we are talking about our target users that probably they don't have even a smartphone, it's quite hard for them to use it. We are trying very hard to make this as easy, as seamless, as transparent as possible. The idea for us is that everybody could be using Bitcoin as easily as they are using their local currency. The third reason is remittances. The idea of sending money, if you're, let's say, a Mexican and you have to send money to your family in Mexico, right now that process is highly regulated, it's very, very expensive, and we truly believe that Bitcoin can help simplifying and making that process much cheaper. We want to explore that. We know that there's a lot of legal issues, a lot of things to have in mind, but we're working with Banco de Mexico in order to advance on that ideas and trying to solve some of these issues. There's a big issue here. There's a lot to talk about. I'm not going to go any further than this, but this is one of the main targets. And that's part of our vision, of the definition of our company, is providing innovation in mobile payments, in payment methods. And we think that Bitcoin is very innovative, and we think it's part of the future for sure. So the idea is, how did we do that? Basically, what we want to do is provide our users to a way where they can use Bitcoin to pay for the services of the product that we provide. How well are we going to do that? Our system is designed to be very easy to include a new, what we call source of funds. The idea is that when we design the system, we have the ability to keep a balance, to send money, to receive money. Very soon in the design of the system, the users started requesting the possibility of linking a credit card or a debit card and use it like a source of fund. When we thought of that, when they requested that, we thought, okay, let's do it, but let's do it in a general way. Let's try to find a way so it's very easy for us to add a new source of funding. The good thing about that is that every service that we provide and every channel when we provide that service can use that source of fund right away, straightforward. So we don't have, the amount of programming we have to do is very, very small. In fact, the implementation is pretty easy. Any source of fund that implements at least the ability to make a withdrawal from the account and hopefully to check the balance and make a deposit of the account is susceptible to be included as a source of fund in our system. As you can see, we have a base class that has to implement at least withdrawal of one of those three methods or three functions. Then we have the implementation of the Pademobile wallet, and we can do several different implementations. We can work with a gateway of several banks. In this case, what we have done is we've done an integration with Coinbase. Why Coinbase? We wanted to do an integration. We wanted to use Bitcoin as a source of funds. There were several options. With the first option, probably the most complex one, is to develop the wallets yourself, to have a Bitcoin here in your system and provide your users with your own wallets. It's complicated. It has several technical issues. We analyzed the wallets that have in the market right now, and we thought that the Coinbase wallet, and especially the Coinbase API, is pretty simple to use. It's very easy to integrate, and it's very powerful for what we were wanting to do. So we're going to use that. From a technical point of view, the Coinbase API has two authentication options. One of them is API key, and the other one is an OAuth authorization. We thought, and it was lucky for us, we thought that the API key integration was too simple, a little bit insecure. It gave too much power to my Coinbase account, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to link my Coinbase account with my Pademobile account. To do that, I'm going to my website, Pademobile, sign in. I'm going to identify myself, and okay, this is Pademobile website. Right now, I'm going to access the list of wallets, or the list of source of funds that I can use. Right now, as you can see, I have my Pademobile balance, and I have linked credit card. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new wallet. Right now, here I will have the options. There's several types of source of funds that I can add. Right now, I have just Coinbase here in the US. And as you can see, it's an all authorization. I'm going to Coinbase. I'm requesting permission to check the balance, to receive addresses, because I'm going to need that to send money, and to send money from my account. This is the permission that I'm requesting, and I am authorized. And then, in a moment, you see that we have three sources of funds. And as you can see, I have here my balance. I can check from here my balance. So this is the simple step. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to send money to a different person. I'm going to send money. I'm going to use. In fact, I'll have to show you how the money sending feature works. So I'm going to have to use myself. I'm going to use from my website. I'm going to say I'm going to send money to my CEO sitting there. I enter the phone number. That's correct. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm public right now.
That's correct. Please hold. And then I'm going to enter the amount I'm sending. I'm sending $1. The idea is this is seamless for the user. The user can use, in fact, right now in the US, the currency that we're using is dollar, and I'm using Coinbase as my source of funds. So the system is going to do all the currency exchange involved. Now I'm sending the request, and now one of the important parts of our system is that it has a double authorization. So I'm going to receive an OTP, or one-time password, as a text message in my cell phone. It's going to take a couple of seconds. Meanwhile, I'm going to try to show it. And as you can see here, it's a little hard to read, but in order to confirm your money transfer to his phone number for $1 USD, please use the code 4538. So I go back, 458, and conclude the transfer. As you can see, let's see, several things that I can show you. First of all, eventually, in my CEO's cell phone, we'll receive a text message informing that it has.
Thank you. My dollar.
There you go. And then we can go back to my Coinbase account, and this is the transaction that it was just made. So we've done the currency exchange in order to provide him with his dollar. Also, you have the same information in your Pademobile wallet. I just sent $1 to Roll Lattice from Coinbase with no money in concept. It's as simple as that. It's exactly the same if you're sending dollars. Just doing the currency exchange on the fly. Next, another thing that we can do, and this way I'm going to show you one of the multiple services that we provide. We're going to do a cell phone top up. In fact, we are going to top up the cell phone account from a Mexican telephone. In this case, we're going to use Telfel as the operator. We're going to make a top up for 30 pesos in this case, and I'm going to use this number, my Mexican cell phone, and then it's exactly the same thing as you can see. I can select my source of fund, and I'm just executing that. That moment is charging my account with the bitcoins equivalent to the 20 pesos, and also making the request to the Telcel operator in Mexico to do the recharge. I don't have my Mexican cell phone here. If I did, I would receive a text message from Telcel informing that my mobile has been recharged. Okay, and then there's another part of the demo that we wanted to show you, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to. One of our affiliates in Mexico is 7-Eleven. And as I told you, every time that we integrate a new source of fund, everything that you can pay with Pademobile is susceptible to be paid using that source of fund. So the idea is that you can right now go to any 7-Eleven in Mexico and you can purchase using your Bitcoin source of fund. The idea is that in any retailer that provide the option of paying with Pademobile, you can pay using Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin, Coinbase wallet, in fact. So instead of showing you that, because it involves a camera, involves communications, involves a hangout, that's something that always fails. In fact, this time has failed even before we started. I'm going to show you exactly the same thing, exactly the same idea, but with an online retailer. I'm going to access this retailer here. FAMSA, it's a Mexican retailer, and I'm going to buy small, let's see if I can find something cheap. Yeah. $1. USB flash drive. I'm going to buy this product. I'm going to translate to you. To finish the purchase, I'm going to identify myself. So I'm going to finish the purchase. I'm going to send that to our offices in Aguascalientes in Mexico, and I'm going to pay with my cell phone. Then this is redirecting me. This is the Pademobile online payment gateway. It's going to ask me for my login information to pay with Pademobile. In fact, this is the pay later with Pademobile. This is a feature that we have. It happens sometimes in Mexico, it doesn't happen here. They make the purchase right now and they're going to be charged 3 days from now. So they have some time to put some money in their account. But I'm going to pay right now. Continue. Then it's going to ask me about the source of funds I want to use. I'm going to use my Coinbase account. Remember that the balance was 0.6 something. Yeah, 0.605. And then I'm going to receive another OTP, in this case is 1198. I'm going to confirm the purchase. And eventually, if I go back here, as you can see, the balance is changed. I have a new transaction here, and this is going back to the FAMSA website because the purchase is completed. And I just made that purchase using Bitcoin. In fact, from my presentation, that's pretty much it. I probably am going way too fast, but just what are we doing next? The idea probably next, are we going to develop our own wallets? Because one of the things that we cannot do right now is if I send money to somebody who doesn't have a Bitcoin account, he has to receive dollars or pesos because I'm not able to create a wallet for them because the wallets are in Coinbase. So probably what we're going to do next, we're going to create the wallets ourselves. And probably that's not going to mean that we're going to remove the Coinbase integration. Probably we're going to keep it because it's only going to help people with the options. And that's it. Thank you everybody for your attention. You were very kind. I hope you enjoyed.